Hi, I'm Connie Townsend, group fitness instructor with the Wenatchee Racquet Athletic Club, doing another at-home workout. And today we're going to use a ball. We're going to do some core exercises using that ball, but we're first going to warm up. So just take that little ball, just in the fingertips, don't squeeze it, and we're going to just come around, starting to warm up. Keep your feet wide. Let your heel come up, you're pivoting on the toe. Now start to draw that navel back toward the spine. The act of doing that will start to activate all the abdominal muscles that make up your core. All right, let's bring the heel up and back. So you're just bending at the knee, pulling that heel to your center, shoulders back. Now from the chest, push. So now we're starting to get the upper body warmed up a little. Your back, your arms, your shoulders, your chest. 4, 3. Now knees up in front. Let's pull down. All right, in 4, 3, 2. Okay, let's widen out the feet into a squat position. We're going to take the ball, we're going to sit down, squat down, swing between the feet, and up and pull back. Exhale. Inhale. You're pushing through the heels as you stand back up. We're trying to bring that ball as far back as we can at the top. So it's a little squat swing. Combines a good stretch, moving stretch, with warming up those big leg muscles. All right, one more. Bring it down. Let's come to the end of your mat. Now, I'm going to put this ball between the knees. So your legs are very narrow, hip width apart, maybe even narrower. We're going to come down, belly button pulled in. We're going to squeeze those knees and start walking out. Come down, come into a hovering bent knee plank. Hands right under the shoulders. You're squeezing. Squeeze the ball. Then walk back up into a squat. Squeezing. Walk it out. Hang there. Squeezing the knees. Woo. Nice quick warm up. And back up. Roll it up. You're in a squat. Squeeze. Now let's just stay here and squeeze. Release. Squeeze. So as you're drawing the navel back toward the spine, you're squeezing, releasing. All right, one more. Now squeeze and hold. Let's walk it out again. Hover, plank. Now squeeze, release, squeeze, release. 4, 3, 2, and release. Come on down on the knees, untuck the toes. Let's bring the arms out a little further in front and sit back on your heels. Nice little stretch. All right, and up. Now you can take the ball out of between your knees and let's lower down to laying. All right, we're going to do some rollouts. So, we're going to just place both wrists on the ball, palms down. Now you're looking at the floor the whole time. Okay, we're not going to lift with the back of the head. You're going to push into the floor and raise up and down, rolling out, pushing into the ball the whole time. Now only roll up as high as your low back will allow. Keeping your head neutral so we're not pulling with the head. Roll up, roll out. So we're using that low back. We're working all the upper back, the back of the shoulders, the triceps, so the backs of the arms are getting it. Roll up, roll down. Couple more. Really feeling that in the shoulders and upper back. Woo. All right. Now, let's turn to our side. Now we're going to put the ball between our feet. So that's always kind of a challenge, to get it between the feet and to get it to stay there. All right, your toes are pointed forward. So feet are parallel and the ankles are flexed. Okay, we're going to pull the navel in because your core muscles are what's going to help your legs lift. Use that upper arm for some leverage and support. Let's just lift and lower. Really drawing back with the navel. So your primary core muscles that are moving, doing the movement, are the side muscles up here in the side. But all of them are involved. All the abdominal muscles are involved. Plus your hip, your inner and outer thighs. There's a lot of muscle groups involved here. We'll try to lift that bottom leg up off the floor as high as you're able. 4, 3, 1 more. Woo. Okay, roll the ball forward, get a hold of it, then bring your knees forward. So not all the way, they're not out in front of the hip, they're just about halfway. Your feet are straight down from your tailbone, so they're not out in front and not behind you. You're going to put the ball between the knees. All right, now lift that bottom foot to meet the top foot that's kind of dangling. They're going to center right there. And your feet are going to stay touching. Draw the navel in. We're going to just squeeze down, release. So, not only are you training the core muscles, but now you're of course working the inner thighs, but also outer. So your adductors and abductors. You're working all those stabilizing muscles around the hips. So it's a very small exercise, not much movement, but very powerful for training the core to engage and for strengthening those stabilizers in the hip. Keep that navel pulled in as you squeeze. Down, up. You feel fatigue in the hip. That's good. 4, 3, 2, and hold. Let's hold it for a moment. Now you can feel not only the hips, but those inner thigh muscles just squeezing and getting stronger. All right, release. We're going to go to our back. So turn over, face up. Now we're going to do what we call a Pilates double leg stretch. But we're going to do it with the ball between our knees. So we're up. Now we're also going to come up into an upper curve. So that means we lift. We're rounded in that upper spine. We tuck the chin and look at the belly button. We're going to point the toes. Now, I might have to come out a little further. All right, right now you look like a little ball. You're all rolled up, hands at the edge, the sides of your ankles. All right, we're going to extend out away from our center while we keep our low back pressed into the floor. So anchor, and then extend out and out and around to come back. Inhale, exhale. Now, all this while squeezing your knees together. Out, in. Now don't come so far out, away from your center that your low back leaves the floor. Out, in, out. Sweep around. Woo. 4, 3. Now just remember to do only what you can. You can always take a rest. And take the ball out, let the legs rest. All right. Back between the knees. Whew. Feet are on the floor. Now the legs are hip width apart. We're going to pull those heels a little closer into us because we're going to do a bridge. We're going to come up into a bridge. So, we're going to pull down with the navel first, engage the core muscles. Those core muscles will lift the tailbone and you're going to roll up. Now you can use the backs of the legs and the glutes to keep your hips up. You're in a straight line between the shoulders and knees. Now from here, all you're going to do is squeeze, release. Four, 3, 2, and then squeeze and hold, and down and up, and down and up. So not only are you squeezing the knees, but now as you come up, you're squeezing the glutes. Squeeze, squeeze, push up. Squeeze those knees constantly. 4, 3, 2, and up. Hold, squeeze, release, squeeze, release. Four, 3, 2, squeeze and hold, and down and up, and down and up. And pushing through the heels. Up, up, squeezing. Woo. All right, here we go. In 4, 3, 2, and come on down. Now, let the legs rest a moment. I need to come out away from the wall again. Now we're going to bring the legs up into a chair position. So, your body looks like a chair. We're not too close to the chest. Bring them out. That's requiring you to pull that navel down and really kind of start by anchoring, but we're not going to stay anchored. Let's put your ball between the knees. Arms are out to the sides. It's actually your shoulder blades that are anchoring this time. Okay, so your shoulder blades don't go anywhere, but your low back will come up off the floor. Let's squeeze and come off center just a little bit, then pull back in, and then other side. So, you are squeezing the ball. Squeeze the knees the whole time. Coming off center only as far as you're able to do so. Squeeze and rotate. Rotate. So you're constantly pulling the navel toward the spine as if you're anchored into the floor. Inhale, exhale. So as your core gets stronger, you're more used to a movement like this, then you can come further off center. But only what your core can support. Don't strain the back. Four, three, and one more. All right, pull them in, let the low back stretch. Whew. Now, one more thing on our back, facing up. We're going to take the ball out. Now, we're going to put the ball under our feet, setting both feet on the ball. Okay? Now this one, we are going to anchor the back into the floor, so we don't ever want to let that low back come up off the floor. So don't roll too far out there if it makes your back come up. We're going to start on our toes, knees bent, pull down into the floor, push into the ball and roll out and in. So it might take several times to really coordinate the movements. There's some balancing involved, some coordination of the legs. Pushing into the ball activates different parts of the leg depending on what part of the movement you're doing. If you're pushing out, you're working the quads. If you're pulling in, you're working the hamstrings and the glutes. But you're training that core to anchor you as your legs are doing some work. Keep pressing into the ball, down into the floor. Woo. How about 4, 3, 2. We don't do a whole lot of any particular movement because your brain and your muscles are concentrating so much on activating and using the core muscles that we don't want to overstimulate all those nerve endings. All right, I'm going to flip around, so I'm facing you, but you can probably just turn over if you want. Okay, we're going to do that sideline exercise again. So, fall between the feet. So you're straightened out. You can support your head with your hand or even lay your head down. Toes are forward, ankles flexed. You're kind of pushing out through those heels. So try to lock those knees. Drawing the navel in, just up and down. These exercises take a lot of concentration, a lot of thinking, because we don't want to just let those core muscles relax as we're working. We want to engage them. We're kind of developing neuromuscular pathways between the brain and the muscle fibers. Your body's becoming more coordinated. It's becoming more automatic in engaging the core before you move. So we stabilize before we mobilize. Ooh. Now remember, only do what you can. If you can do just a few and then rest, then get back to it. Okay, I'm going to count down. We got 4, 3, one more. Okay, bring it forward, get a hold of it, then bring those knees forward as well. Ball between the knees. Now lift that bottom foot to meet the top foot in the middle. These are called clamshells. So you want some movement. If our legs were banded, or if we had set the weight on our outer knee like we've done before, then having the feet raised off the floor gives you a big range of motion. But this time we're going to press. So remember, pull the navel back and squeeze, release. So several things are contracted at the same time. So you're contracting all the abdominal muscles, you're drawing in, you're squeezing and releasing. So this one develops a lot of good pelvic floor strength. And the lower abdominals that are inside the pelvis. Drawing back, keep breathing. It's kind of hard to breathe very deeply in this position, but squeeze. You can really feel the fatigue starting in your hip. Four, 3. Now one more, let's squeeze and hold. Several things going on. You can feel them all. You can feel the abdominals tight. You can feel the hip working. You can feel the adductors working to squeeze that ball. And 4, 3, 2, and release. Whew. All right, we're going to finish up on our back again. So we're going to face up. Now this one is a chest press. So we're squeezing the ball, and we're going to do a pullover. We've done these before. So we just lay flat, or lay with our knees bent, feet on the floor, hip width apart. We're going to take the ball, put it between our palms, because we'll be squeezing straight into the ball. So when I mean squeeze, I don't mean with the fingertips. Relax them. Okay, we're in front of the chest, about halfway out. Now, your fingertips, let's put them straight up for the moment. We're going to squeeze, and we're going to pull that low back into the floor using those core muscles. So you're drawing down into the floor again. We're going to come forward, and up and back. As you squeeze the ball, and as you anchor the low back, you're working the whole upper body, your chest, your back, your shoulders, your biceps and your triceps. We're training the core to anchor as your arms are in motion. Let's inhale back. Exhale in. So this is a very powerful exercise for getting everything in the upper body. You're working on alignment in the spine, core strength. We're working on those stabilizers in the shoulders. And you're training the core to engage while your arms are in motion. 3, 2, and let the arms rest. Okay, I'm going to finish with just some crunches. Now take the ball, put it on the opposite knee. We're going to support the head with the other hand. All right, we're just going to do an oblique crunch. So that means we're going to come up and across. We're going to push that ball up the leg and down. So rolling up, down, up. So by rolling that ball up the leg, it causes the body to come across your center. You're coming up one vertebra at a time, pushing it as high as you can on that leg. So we're working more the sides of the core, of the abdominals, and a combination of the front abdominals and the side ones. 4, 3, and one more. Now both knees up in a chair position. We're going to set that ball on the knees. We're going to just do a straight on crunch, floating up one vertebra at a time as we push that ball up the legs, floating down, up, down. So as your legs straighten and as you push toward the toes, you're getting a nice contraction at the top of that movement. When you're reaching for the toes, it causes you to get a little higher up there. Roll up, roll down. 4, 1 more time. Way up there and down. Ball on the opposite knee, support that neck, but don't pull with the arm. Float up and down, up and across. Really get it, try to get it to the top of that knee. Exhale. Inhale. Almost there. We've got 4, 3, 1 more. Okay, now while we're here, we're going to stretch a little. Take the ball in the fingertips. Arms are straight. Now don't let them bend. We're going to try to bring them back behind. Get them to the floor if you can. And push. Push straight, push long. You're stretching in those shoulders and in the back. Now you're going to pull the navel down into the floor, anchoring the low back. And that causes your back and your shoulder blades to anchor, and you are now aligning the spine. So you were gently forcing the spine into alignment and strengthening the connections between the spine and the shoulders and the spine and the hips. All right, relax the abdominals, bring the ball back in. You're gonna lift the head and shoulders, get up on an elbow. Come on back to sitting. One last thing here. You're gonna put the ball between the knees. Okay, you're on your heels. You're kind of pushing into the floor. Pull the toes up. You're gonna sit nice and tall. Now the back will stay straight. Belly button pulled in. We're going to squeeze the knees first and then come back into a V sit. Hold. 4, 3, 2, 1. Come up. Relax those knees. That's round the back. Then sit up tall. Squeeze the knees together. Come on back and hold, not too far back. If you feel like your back is going to round, then come up a little higher. 4, 3, 2, release, come up. All right, let's straighten out those legs. Take the ball in the fingertips. We're going to start overhead, pull back. Sit tall, push it to the ceiling. Then arms out in front. We're going to tuck the chin. Relax, roll out, push out. You can use one hand to support you if you need to. Then reverse that, starting with the tailbone. Roll back in and up. Push it up. Try to straighten the arms. Try to get them back beside the ears. And down, and release, relax, tuck, push. And then roll back. Sit up tall, pull back. And then release. All right, so you did a core and more class. We worked on our core strength, our stabilizers in our shoulders and our hips, and quite a few of the muscle groups in the body. All of them, I think. Just using a... And I'll see you again.